What's going on, guys? It's Lazarus here, back with another MLB video, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 prospects that you guys should be on the lookout for. These are guys that I think could have a big impact in the 2020 season at one point or another. And as it relates to the game MLB The Show, I think these are going to be the guys that you want to invest in as soon as you can, because they're going to be really good this year and really valuable. Now, I wouldn't say the list is in any particular order, but rather just a collection of 10 players that should be coming up this year to have a big impact. And we're not going to waste any more time on the semantics, and we're just going to go ahead and get straight into things. The first prospect we're going to be talking about is FRANCO from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's the #1 prospect in all of baseball, and although he's only still in single A, you never know what could happen. And just based on the pure talent this guy has, him making it to the bigs this year is not entirely unreasonable. For example, if we look at his stats on the 20 to 80 scale, which is basically what scouts use to rate how good a player could be and how good they are at the moment, 80 being the max, 20 being the min. He has an 80 hit, which means he's a phenomenal hitter, a 60 power, which means he's a pretty good power hitter, and then 70 overall rating, which means they think he's going to be a stud. And he very well could be, as he's highly regarded all around. And I think with the right things happening, he could see time in the big leagues this year and could have a big impact on a Rays team that's probably going to be pretty good. Next up, we're going to be talking about Dodgers prospect GAVIN, who's another good Dodgers infield prospect, another good Dodgers left-handed hitting prospect, and it feels like he could be the second coming of a Corey Seager or a Cody Bellinger kind of guy. On his 20 to 80 scale, he has 60s and 55s all across the board, which means he's projected to be pretty solid, and he will be starting at second base this year as of right now. So giving this guy a full chance to start could lead to him having a big impact on a great team like the Dodgers. And we're going to see just how good his potential is to his real life skill in the upcoming season, and whether or not he can match the high expectations he has from all around. Next up, we're going to be talking about White Sox outfielder Luis Robert, who just not too long ago signed a really big contract extension with the team, despite never playing a single game in the major leagues yet, which shows the White Sox have a ton of faith in him for a reason. And you couple that with the fact that he's been pretty good this spring training, and he's rated very highly on the 20-80 scale, with the 65 in the power, run, and arm categories. He's a guy that's going to have a huge impact on the 2020 White Sox. I don't know if he's going to make the team out the gate in spring training, but eventually he will come up at some point during the season and become a mainstay in that lineup, adding another fresh young talent to an already solid White Sox roster. Up next, we have San Diego Padres left-handed pitcher MACKENZIE Gore, and I knew he was a good prospect. I've heard about him for years, but I didn't really understand how good he was. Throughout his junior and senior years in college, he went 11-0 with a 0.19 ERA in 74 innings pitched. Are you kidding me? Like, that is the most absurd stat line I think I've ever heard in my life. When it comes to his ratings on the scale, he has 60s for all of his pitches and his control, and I think he's definitely going to be coming up in 2020. It's about time he finally reaches the majors, and the Padres do need an ace, so if he could step up and be their guy, watch out for them as a team, and watch out for him to show just how good he is to the whole league. Next up, we're going to be talking about ADELL, the Los Angeles Angels top prospect, whose three main skills are A, his speed, B, his power, and C, his defense. With a 65 power rating, a 60 run rating, an overall rating of 65. Now, he does swing and miss quite a bit, but the man hits tanks, so that kind of makes up for it. And in today's game especially, a lot of strikeouts are to be expected, but that stuff can be worked on. He would also fit pretty nicely into the Angels outfield this year, where they already have Mike Trout, of course, and Justin Upton next to him. So maybe slot ADELL into right field, and there you go. You have a pretty solid outfield group right there, who could make an Angels team that's on the border of contention cross that line into being a very good team. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Up next, we have Tigers pitching prospect MIZE, and as you all might know, the Tigers are absolutely awful. So it's the perfect opportunity for a young pitcher like him to come in and fill a spot, get some major league experience and innings under his belt before they start to actually be decent again. This kid was drafted back in 2018, and he's already made his way up to AA, so breaking through to the majors in 2020 is definitely attainable, probably more towards the middle of the year, but I think we're definitely going to see him up there at some point. And on the 20-80 scale, some notables are his 60 fastball, 70 splitter, and 60 slider. So he has 3 solid pitches, which means he has a lot of potential to succeed as a starter. And I think he's someone we're 100% going to see up at some point, and it's only a matter of time. Alright, at the number 7 spot, we have Nate Pearson from the Toronto Blue Jays, a starting pitching prospect, who's another good young player, which the Blue Jays seem to have a really good amount of, but as of right now, he's the best in their system, and he currently has an 80 grade fastball, which is the highest anything could be rated, and all the way back in 2017, he had 102 miles per hour on his fastball in front of a bunch of scouts. Now this guy's in AAA already, and Toronto is one of those teams that I think could be sneaky good this year. They have an absurd amount of young talent, and they made some nice moves in the offseason to supplement it. So I think if the Blue Jays are competitive, and even if they're not, this guy's going to be coming up, but I think we could see him take his game to another level in the majors this year. At number 8, we have another Tampa Bay Rays prospect, and this time it's Brendan McKay, who, if you didn't know, is a two-way player. So he's got that pitcher sauce and the hitter sauce. Now, according to scouts, he's a much better pitcher than he is a hitter, and he actually debuted in the bigs in 2019, and although he didn't play much, his performance wasn't that good, but there's absolutely no doubt the guy has a lot of talent. Of course he has to be a pitcher and a hitter, but I believe the Rays will be focusing more on the pitcher part of his career, so we're definitely going to see him a lot more in 2020, and just the ability to be playing both parts of the game is pretty sick to see, so definitely keep your eye on this guy, because he could be in for a pretty big year. And at number 9, we have Jesus Luzardo from the Oakland A's. I probably absolutely butchered that guy's name, but we're just going to ignore that. And he's a starting pitching prospect who was slotted to be in their rotation for the 2020 season, and he actually debuted last year in 2019. So there's pretty much a 100% chance that if he's healthy and the season actually starts, he'll be there. Shout out coronavirus. But as far as his stuff goes, he has a good fastball and a good changeup combo, both rated 65 on the scale, along with good control as well. And as things are shaping up right now, it looks like the A's are going to be good in 2020, and if this guy can put it together, he's going to be one of the leaders on that pitching staff. So definitely expect to hear his name a lot if he could live up to his potential. And finally, rounding out the list at number 10, we have Joey Bart from the San Francisco Giants, a catching prospect, and there's a couple reasons he's on here. Number 1, Buster Posey, not what he used to be. And that sucks because I used to love seeing him play in his prime, but he's just not that player anymore. I think it's time for him to move over to first base or some other position because he's not getting any younger. Now, as for Joey Bart, he's only in AA, but there's a pretty good chance he could break it into the majors this season. According to the 20-80 scale, he's a good defender with some good pop as well with the bat, and the Giants are going to need all the help they can get. They're not shaping up to be the best team this year, but you never know what could happen. It is an even year, so they do have that bullshit magic on their side. And I think we're going to be seeing Joey Bart make his way to the majors at some point this season, probably the middle, but definitely watch out for him to take over at their catcher position. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comment section below what prospects do you think everyone should be on the lookout for. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.